Have you ever felt it, that powerful, kind of invisible pull to just follow the crowd? Well, today we're going to dive right into the psychology of why we do that. And look, understanding this stuff can really empower you to think for yourself.
I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? You're in a group, someone tells a joke, and the whole room just erupts in laughter. And so you laugh too, even if you totally didn't get it. That tiny little moment, it's actually a perfect window into something really deep and honestly kind of fascinating about us as humans.
So the official term for this is conformity. It's basically just adjusting our behavior or even our opinions to match what a group is doing. And, it can be something as small as that polite little laugh, or it can have way, way bigger consequences. Okay, so to really get a handle on this invisible pull, we've got to go back in time and look at one of the most famous experiments in the history of psychology. Seriously, this one's a classic. So I want you to picture this. You're sitting in a room and you've been told you're there for a simple vision test. All you have to do is look at a line and then match its length to one of 3 other lines. I mean, it's super easy. Obvious, right? A little kid could get it right. But, and here's the twist, you don't know that everyone else in the room is in on it. They're all actors, and one by one they start picking a line that is clearly the wrong answer, like not even close. The pressure is on. Now it's your turn. What do? Do you trust your own eyes, or do you go with the crowd? The results? I mean, they were absolutely staggering. A full 75% of the people in the experiment went along with the group's wrong answer at least one time. That's 3 out of every 4 people. So what does this tell us? It's the core finding from this famous experiment, that the pressure to just fit in can be so strong that we will literally ignore what our own eyes are telling us. The test was never really about vision, was it? Nope, it was all about social pressure. All right, so that experiment shows us what happens, but it doesn't really explain the why. What is going on inside our brains that makes this pull so powerful? Let's break down the core drivers behind it. And look, these things aren't weaknesses, not at all. They're actually survival instincts that are wired deep inside of us. Think about it. Our need to belong is primal. For our ancestors, being part of a group meant survival. Being kicked out, that was basically a death sentence. So yeah, it makes sense we're terrified of rejection. Then there's something called social proof. It's a mental shortcut. You see a packed restaurant, you think, hey, that place must be good, right? It gives us a sense of certainty when we're unsure. And let's be honest, sometimes it's just plain easier than figuring everything out for ourselves. So at the end of the day, crowd following isn't some kind of character flaw. It's actually deeply wired into our psychology. It's just part of the human instruction manual, you could say. But, and this is a big but, this instinct that kept us safe for thousands of years doesn't always work out so well for us today. So let's talk about the dark side, when following the crowd fails.
Okay, this is where things can get pretty dangerous. First, you've got groupthink. You've probably seen this in a meeting, where nobody wants to rock the boat so they all just agree. That's how really bad decisions get made. Then there's just the loss of your own self, right? You stop asking that crucial question. Wait a minute, is this actually right? And that can lead to some serious moral problems, where people do terrible things and just use that old excuse, well, everyone else was doing it.
Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom. Following the crowd isn't always a bad thing. In fact, sometimes it can be really smart. It can even be a lifesaver. I mean, how do we learn the unwritten rules of society? By watching others. That's conformity. And what about safety? If you see a huge crowd running away from something, you don't stop and ask questions, you just run. It's also a great mental shortcut that helps us make tons of small decisions every single day. The real trick, of course, is figuring out when to trust the crowd and when it's time to think for yourself. So the big question is, how do we get the best of both worlds? How do we use this instinct when it's helpful, but avoid the trap of just blindly following? Well, here are some real, practical steps you can take. Okay, 4 things you can start doing right away. Number 1, just pause. Before you go along with something, just take a second and ask yourself, do I actually agree with this? Number 2, get comfortable with standing alone. The more confident you are in yourself, the less you'll need everyone else's approval. 3, get out of your echo chamber. Go look for different opinions. Don't just listen to one group. And finally, number 4, be aware of the vibe. Recognize when the emotion of a crowd, good or bad, is starting to sway your own thinking. So look, following the crowd is natural. It's just part of being human. It's baked into our DNA for survival. But questioning the crowd, that's powerful. In today's world, with all the noise and influence coming at us, knowing when to stand apart, that's not just a skill, that's your superpower.